These results are 30 days after onboarding. Theo, Clarke here, and I'm going to run you through a Google Ads client case study. So this client we onboarded on June the 1st, and this is the first 30 days of performance after onboarding. You can see advertising spend has been reduced by 45%. Google ROAS has gone up by 64%. Blended ROAS is up by 66%, and total sales were stabilized with a 10% drop at 41,700. Now, here's also a Shopify screenshot. I've blurred out the client's name for privacy reasons, but you can see 41.7K in total sales. Conversion rate, also I'd like to make note of this, is up 223%. So why am I honing in on that? Well, we actually audited this client's business back in or towards the end of May, just prior to onboarding. Now, they'd said that their goal was 100K, and previously in Q4 of last year, their average revenue was 56K per month, and they want to achieve now 100K per month. So we went through their advertising account and first clarified what their product margin was. This client in particular is a retailer, and they're operating at 20 to 40% profit margin. So we calculated their break-even ROAS just by doing a simple calc here, and calculated that their break-even ROAS based on a 20 to 40% 20 to 40% margin is 250 to 500%, or 2.5 to 5x. We then identified that their current ROAS inside of their Google Ad account was 129%, and I'll show you that in a screenshot here. You can see Google Ads over 2024, they generated 58,000 and spent 54,000. So they were operating at a 1.29x ROAS. Bear in mind that their break-even ROAS is 2.5 to 5. So they were running at a significant loss, and this was currently being managed by their existing advertising agency. Now, the year prior, their blended ROAS was 702% in 2023, and in 2024, it had dropped down to 307, while spend had increased significantly. The existing agency that they were working with were saying that they would increase spend, that everything looked relevant, and there was no reason why revenue should have dropped so significantly. So we had a look at their search terms and traffic acquisition. What we identified by looking at a traffic acquisition report was that their Google advertising spend has increased from an average of 3,400 per month in 2023 to 8,980 per month in 2024, an increase of 162%. Now, when we pulled up a report and looked at Google Ads as a ratio of traffic sessions versus revenue generated, we could see that this had dropped from 0.95 to 0.5, and you can see that here. Ratio of revenue generated by session, 0.95. This is statistics from 2023. If we look at 2024, you can see that it's actually dropped down to 0.5. So advertising spend has more than doubled, whilst revenue per session has dropped by half. Now, this is a problem because the existing agency was telling them that the conversion rate was due to the website, okay, and that was what had resulted in a poor conversion rate. But you can see here, by cutting their ad spend in half and stabilizing the revenue, we're actually able to increase conversion rate by 223%. So what the existing agency was saying was BS. So that was one thing we did immediately, was we actually just cut any wasted spend. We identified a ton of wasted search terms or spend that was being allocated on wasted search terms. So what we did, we exported their search terms and identified those that had more than 85 clicks but no conversions. Why 85s? Well, we took their existing conversion rate of 1.18, which is what they were achieving in 2023, and we ran through a simple calc, which tells us that you should then expect one conversion for every 85 clicks based on a 1.18% conversion rate. So we identified all of the search terms that had more than 85 clicks and no conversions, where we identified immediately at least £12,000 of wasted spend during a 5-minute exercise. We just exported the search terms and obviously put a filter on there and filtered by clicks. You can see some of these have a ton of clicks and just no revenue associated whatsoever. So just tons of wasted spend here. Again, the existing agency just wasn't monitoring the search terms, which is 101. If you're managing an advertising account, you're going to get a ton of wasted spend on shopping if you're not regularly analyzing the search terms. So again, another thing that we optimized immediately. Another thing we noticed was that they had absolutely zero remarketing set up. They didn't have any remarketing campaigns set live whatsoever. So what we did was we showed the client inside of their attribution path report that on average, their customers have 2.53 touch points to a key event. And in this instance, the key event that we'd set it to was, of course, a conversion action, which would be a product sale. We showed them this and obviously brought it to their attention and showed them that you're not actually remarketing at all. That, fine if your touch point was 1, but it's not, it's 2.53. So they're not currently remarketing to anyone. Again, massive area of wasted opportunity, likely causing the advertising account and performance to suffer. So we set up remarketing campaigns. Now, we don't just do this in any way. We always set up multiple ad groups segmented by the recency or activity. So we'll segment by 7, 14, 30, and 90-day audiences, adjusting bids based on the recency of the visit. Now, this is just the things that we highlighted in our audit. We've obviously been working with the client for over 30 days. And as I mentioned initially, this is the results just after 30 days of onboarding. Now, the client's target is 100K per month, so we're still going to be working towards that. But now that we've cut the advertising spend in half, we can now redistribute that spend to areas of opportunity that have proven to work well and start working towards that 100K target. And I expect within Q4, we will hit the goal as intended. So great performance here, just 30 days after onboarding. Very excited to see where we can take this client. If you are interested in an audit, a bit like the one we've shown here, we're actually offering a promotion at the moment where we're doing these audits for free, upfront for free. So if you'd like us to audit your entire advertising account and give you a step-by-step scaling roadmap that you can implement regardless of whether or not you decide to work with us, then get in touch with me today.